What's up, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Envision Game Podcast. I'm your host, Brad's Gaming, and today I am joined by Clownish Joe.
Hello, everybody.
I'm also joined by Triple Bravo.
Hello, everybody.
Now, we are just three guys who are passionate about video games. We all have different interests in them, so hopefully we can cover all of the avenues for you. The topic for today's episode is 12 games everybody should play. We decided to still do a normal episode to go along with the E3 episode that will be coming up shortly. We didn't want to break the routine, so you're getting an extra episode for E3. So before we jump into the topic of the show, let's find out how everybody's week is going. So Bravo, let's start with you.
First off, I panicked. I didn't know what to say, so I just copied Joe with the "What's up, everybody." But my week has been golden. Work has been fine. Gaming has been fine. Everything's fine. I've been told to say. But realistically,
Are you holding a gun to your head?
realistically, I've pretty much played Biomutant and 2 games of League of Legends. I'm still enjoying Biomutant, and I've been watching a lot of the E3 stuff, which we can get into in the special episode. And yeah, I got a little goofy game show we're gonna play. Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna call it the Bad Game Battle, and the combatants, Clownish Joe and Brad's Gaming, have brought with them a game each that they are going to put in the ring, and I'm going to ask a series of questions, and we're going to figure out which game is worse between the two. I will award points according to their answers, and we'll see what happens. And just so you know, the game's made up and the points don't matter. All right. So, gentlemen, I hope we don't get sued for that. So what games did you bring with you today?
So I brought with me the First Templar. It was released on Xbox 360, I believe PS3 and Steam. It is technically a RPG game, and it is literally garbage.
Bold statements, sir. Brad, what about you?
Okay. I don't have the game in hand. Not that anybody's gonna see it because Joe gave us a little show and tell. But I brought with me Man vs. Wild featuring Bear Grylls for the Xbox 360.
Oh boy. Oh
So
boy.
here's the thing, fun little history event for myself. I was an achievement hunter essentially back in my high school days. Big 360 fanboy, and I 100%ed this game because it's very easy to finish. But yeah, it's a rough game.
When in doubt, when you heal yourself, does Bear like drink his own piss to get health back? Is that
Oh, he's doing everything. I can't remember if he's actually drinking his own urine, but I wouldn't be surprised.
All right. Okay, so why did you pick this specific game, Joe?
Well, we decided we were going to do this, and I forgot until the last minute,
Oh, God.
naturally. So I decided to go walk around my house and look at all the different piles of games I have scattered around and organized. And this is the one that stuck out to me. And I remember playing this game for a solid 7 minutes before I turned it off and never went back. And then I went back and played it again and drug myself through to beat it. And it was painful every minute along the way.
Just like my childhood. Okay, what about you, Brett?
So what sparked my memory of this game? Because I don't think I ever would have remembered it if it wasn't for the fact that it just popped up in eBay. It was like a recommended. I don't know if there was like a certain seller that I just bought something from, and they also had it. Came up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this game was absolute trash. And then I watched some gameplay of it again, and I'm like, yep, just as good as I remember.
Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Excuse me. Is there an interesting story surrounding this game? No, I'm not talking about the storyline of the game. I'm talking about external to the game. Is there some kind of special story as to why or how this game was created into existence? Brad, let's go with you.
I think Bear Grylls wanted some money, so he was like, "Hey, let's make a video game about myself, and I'm gonna do a lot of quick time events against animals and climbing up trees and ropes, and it's horrendous." My favorite is there's a part where you have to. I don't remember what the animal is. It could be a buffalo or something. But you stand up on the back of this animal and you have to balance. And it took me forever to do it because it was the last thing I needed to do for achievement.
Hmm.
The 100% it. The game is rough.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. So not too big of a wave outside the game, but
No.
all right. So let's segue into how the gameplay was. Brad already kind of mentioned it. Why don't you go ahead and
I
finish
think you
that out?
skipped over Joe over there.
No.
Just keep
Well,
going.
2 points for you, and then 2 points for me.
All right, Joe. What you got?
So there's a real in-depth story behind this. It's made by Calypso, which is a German developer, and one of the employees was able to track his lineage back to the Knights Templar, and was actually the first Templar. And so it's just a historical recreation of said employee's 17th great grandfather.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
None of that's true.
Yes. Well, you've already been deducted the points for lying to the audience. All right. So how's the gameplay of Templar?
One word. Awful.
Is it like a third person, top down, first person?
So from what I remember, it's like third person, but it's super clunky, and it's supposed to be like this action RPG, but then they tried to mix stealth into it, and it's like if you were to have a baby between like Chivalry, Assassin's Creed, and then like Mortal Kombat, and you get the First Templar.
Fair
It's
enough.
a train wreck in the making.
Brad, would you like to add anything to the gameplay of yours?
So I kind of alluded a little bit to it beforehand, where there's a lot of it's a lot of quick time events or just mashing A to like you hold up on the analog stick and mash A to climb up a rope or down a rope. I I don't even get it. But one of my favorite things is for some reason you'll build like a shelter and you need to put like sticks of grass and rocks together, but your right analog stick has some of them and your left analog stick has some of them, and you need to like gently move them into the designated spot, and it's very clunky. It yeah, it it's just it's so dumb. I don't know. Like it kind of looks like a PS2 game. Essentially, you have to keep your body temperature high. So you have moments when you're out in like the snow. So you need to do kind of like a DDR style button stomping game where to when like the buttons come down, you have to hit it at the right time. You
Yeah.
do that doing jumping jacks.
Oh
It's
boy.
as I said, it's just a strange game.
That is very strange. I'll give you that. Okay. Score update. It's Joe 3, Brad 1. Okay? We're not going to talk about the points. That's what they are. Moving in to question number 5. What is the critic review and the user review? We can talk about the funny reviews if you want, but I really just want the star value or the number value.
Brad, you could take lead.
Okay, so my game has a total of 1 critic review by official Xbox magazine, and they gave it a 50 out of 100.
Oh.
It says, it's not terrible, but not even the ability to make Grylls drink urine or hollow out a camel for shelter are enough to make it compelling.
Are
You do drink your own urine.
Was that the actual review?
Yeah, that's the little short synopsis to it. And then the user review is a 5.2 with a total of 9 ratings. But it's a little skewed because we got Ghost Sniper over here giving a 10 out of 10. The game is simply about drinking lemonade. The graphics are simply amazing. It looks like real life. And it's played in the first person, 10 out of 10. Game of the year. It's also not played in the first person. So
Oh boy.
Ghost Sniper is our Lord and Savior.
Wow. Joe, what about you?
All right. So, according to Metacritic, we have 21 critic reviews with an average score somehow at 52.
Oh.
So, I say somehow because looking at these, there are a total of 4 ratings above 50. And the rest are all significantly lower. Like, okay, there's a total of 5 ratings above 30. You go into user reviews where you got a 6.2, and some of my highlights from the reviews. Xbox World 360 magazine in the UK said a dull, zero budget hack and slasher with a mad plot and easy achievements. Now, for my personal favorite review by Wyatt the Awesome back in May 30th of 2013, says, I can't fully explain how bad this game was, but I will give it a try. The storyline is bland, the graphics belong on the Gamecube, the combat is a joke, the gameplay cutscenes are N64 standards at best, and it all just falls flat. If you enjoy pressing X for about 8 hours, then pick up this game. But this game doesn't deserve a mediocre rating. It deserves a rating of 1. The only reason I didn't give this game a 0 out of 10 was because the main character was decent and his voice actor was well done. But besides that, I hate everything about this loathsome piece of filth.
Oh, wow.
Now, do you guys feel like you gave it a 1?
I gave it a 1.
I feel like that's a little tough because at least the game runs.
Okay, so I'd give it
I'm
a
moving
2.
up to a 2. Yeah, 2. 2 solid.
Well, that's a good segue into the next question. What would you give the game you brought to the battle today?
I probably would say, because of the length saving it, because I know that it's not a very long game, about a 4. A 4 out of 10.
Okay. For me, the First Templar, I'm holding up, showing the other guys literally all of the things that come in the box, and they're just ads for their Calypso's other games, like Tropico and Dungeons, and trying to sell headsets. This game was literally a cash grab, and I'm going to give it a legitimate 2.
A legitimate 2. Okay. I feel like both of those reviews are fair, because at least Bear gives his abilities transferred well to the video game, and the Templar review is pretty spot on.
Concur.
How much does this game cost today?
You could buy the First Templar on Steam for $9.99.
Heck yes, brother.
You're ruining the game that I was going to bring.
Oh no.
Don't tell us.
Mystery.
Mystery for next.
Oh.
It's not available on Steam right now, is it, Brad?
It's not on Steam.
Okay, it's not available.
All right, we'll skip it. We'll skip it. Nobody gets a point there. And last question, the most important question. As a matter of fact, this question is worth 2 points. Okay, we're in the double points whammy right now. Would you play this game with your grandma?
Wouldn't play it alone. Why would I play it with my grandmother?
I would. Because I'm a glutton for punishment. as
Oh,
Joe
boy.
knows. I love the bad games. I think it'd be funny to play it again.
Wow. Okay, so I've tallied up all the points, and drum roll, Joe has 3 points, but I was
got shut out
talking
at the end.
I was talking to Joe before we started the podcast, and Brad was in the chat, but he hadn't muted himself, so I talked to him, and I felt like a butthead. So Joe gets a point. He's got 4 points. Brad, since you wanted to skip over the one question, you only have 3 points, sir.
Oh,
Joe
wow.
wins the first ever bad game battle.
If so
Don't you forget it.
would it have been if it was higher or lower, who would have gotten the point, and then we would have.
I can't divulge how the points are
Oh.
created and or handed out. It's a corporate thing. It's
Oh,
a, it's
yeah,
a whole
you're right,
it's a whole deal.
We'll get shut down if we go over that.
but Joe, how was your week, sir?
Well, my week has been a roller coaster. So, we're going to start this off nice and slow. I spent about $500, $600 on video games. That might be pushing it, but
What?
I decided that I was going to start collecting a Zelda collection in general. So, with that being said, I ordered the Twilight Princess, the Wind Waker, Four Swords Adventure, Ocarina of Time, and Zelda's Collector's Edition, all for the Gamecube. All of those are expensive games. I also decided to order myself a Sega Genesis. I also decided that Ratchet and Clank's coming out, so we're obviously going to be playing that. Excellent game, by the way. I did finish it. Aesthetically beautiful. Brad, I see your head pop up.
You beat it?
I beat it.
Holy crap!
It was about I'd say roughly 10, 11 hours I put into it.
Did you
It wasn't a super long game.
did you like blast through it, or was that just like kind of naturally
So
progressing?
I'm 83% total completion. So
okay.
I've done almost everything. There's some collectibles I know I missed that I couldn't figure out. There's still like another set in the arena, but it was a really good game. I don't know if it's a $70 game, realistically, but it definitely shows off the power of the PlayStation 5, and like the Rift teleporting was really cool to me, and I would never get used to it.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
So, just as a comparison, so when the original game came out, the remake on PS4, it was a $40 release. Do you feel like it would have been maybe if you add like $10 to it, because PS5, that would have been a more fair price range?
Yeah, I'd honestly say it's probably even like worth $60. I just think $70 is kind of pushing it for the amount of content in the game.
Yeah.
I've never played a Ratchet and Clank before this one, so this is my first experience. But you do play as Ratchet very minimally. Like you play as Rivet, the new Lombax, for the majority of the game, and I personally think she's the more interesting character, so I wasn't upset with that. But I could see longtime fans having a problem with the fact that Ratchet is kind of a side character in this one.
Hmm. Yeah. I see. I live by the rule of like value for hours, right? So if I pay $70 for a game, I would like to get 70 hours of gameplay out of it. And now you can kind of go back and forth. Like if the story is really well made, perhaps you give it a little bit more value. But that has really held up over the years. A fellow friend in the community, I don't know how many years ago, but brought my attention to that way of like measuring value of games. And for the most part, I get quite a bit of value out of the games. But $70 for 12 to, if you complete the game, like 15 hours of content, that's pretty steep. I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely steep. I don't think it's a $40 game, and I can't say I'm in the same mindset as you with $70 should equal 70 hours because I don't want every game to be Assassin's Creed. And, I enjoy a good 15, 20-hour game, but
I like a game that respects my time, that knows how long to be, like that they're not drawing out the game just to say that they're a longer game.
Oh
Just to
no,
be like, oh,
like
I'm 30 hours.
it should go the other way, gentlemen. It should save you the pocket money because it's not 70 hours of content. It's 15. Now, Ratchet and Clank, obviously, a lot of time was put into that. I think it could easily be a $50 game, but it's a great story. It's great content. Looks beautiful. So like it doesn't always hold up. It's just a little rule of thumb. Shout out,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, shout out
I
to
agree.
Jayhawk for that little content right there.
But outside of that, a few other games I've been playing. I started playing Zelda: A Link to the Past on my Super Nintendo Classic, and some League of Legends with Bravo here. He says we had 2 games, but they were 2 good games, and your boy here was carrying. And some Oxygen not included. But outside of that, not too much else going on.
Yeah.
Hop into my little segment here this week in gaming. We had some decent titles released this week. Starting from June 8th, working our way forward. June 8th in the year 2000, Croc was released for the Game Boy Color. I played Croc a lot on the PlayStation 1 as a child and growing up, so a little bit of bias to that one.
I'd like to see how that is on Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I didn't know it released for it, so seeing that
Neither did
kind
I.
of stuck out to me. June 9th, NBA Street was released on the PS2 in 2001.
Yes. I love it.
I was a big fan of NFL Street, and I only played a little bit of the NBA Street, but I know that just the Street series as a whole was an incredibly popular.
They're fun games. I wish they would bring them back. At
I
least.
actually remember that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that the sports genre itself needs is the bring it back to the arcade days where they're just fun to play around. You don't need to be you don't need a football management game to play or have like a super realistic simulation. Give me some characters out in the field and they're smashing each other, going for a ball.
So we're on to June 10th, and there wasn't too much in history that stuck out to me for June 10th, but there was one very special edition of Skyrim released in 2018, and that was for the Amazon Alexa.
No. Ew.
Is that real or is that a joke?
No,
It's real.
it's real.
Wow.
You could play Skyrim on the Amazon Alexa using just talking back and forth.
Wow. I'm gonna have to YouTube this.
Yeah. I want to know if somebody completed the game.
What's the speed run?
Oh, it's the speed.
Is it going to be in GDQ? So June 11th, basically a holiday for Brad here. Capcom was originally established back in 1983.
Yes. Love it.
Also, whenever just outside it for a video game release, Mario Golf for the Nintendo 64 was released in Japan in 1999. Classic game. Can't wait for the new one, even though Brad won't play with me anymore since he decided to ixnay the Switch-nay.
I'll just steal a Switch from my buddy. If he buys the game, we'll get some games.
Better watch out for my Yoshi game. June 14th, Legend of Dragoon released in the United States in the year 2000. on the original
Legend of
PlayStation.
Dragoon. Yes, I played that game on PlayStation, but I could never make it past. I could only play what I had in one sitting. So I hardly ever made it past the first disc because we didn't have a save card,
Memory card?
a memory card. So I would just play it and play the first disc because there's 8 discs to that game, and I would never get anywhere.
RPGs in the PlayStation 1 were, first of all, that if you're an RPG fan, go just spend all your money in PlayStation 1 games because that's where a majority of them are, and they're insanely long. I mean, they're usually like 3 to 4 disc long. It's pretty nutty.
And you get to
But
see about 300 to 400 pixels through the whole game.
yes, they're great pixels though.
Well, that was a great trip down memory lane right there.
So, Brad, what do we got from you this week, partner?
All right, so my week wasn't too bad. So I do have a story. It seems like it's always story time with me. But I was out because Joe gave me a little bit of a fever also after watching him buy $500 worth of games. I decided I decided to go out and I was like, I'm going to try to find anything locally. And there was also a local like the world's largest garage sale in my area. So I found a listing on Craigslist or his offer up actually, excuse me. So the guy had a Sega Genesis with about 5 games and a 32X, plus it had the box for the 32X for $25. And some of the games had the boxes also, which I was like, wow. I mean, I didn't even look up. I'm like, I bet I could probably, if I wanted to flip this, I could make like 50-ish bucks or so. And that's even sending Joe the one game in the bundle
Mortal
for
Kombat 3.
Mortal Kombat 3 for his collection. And so I decided to go talking to the guy. It was working out well. He told me his car broke down, so in order for me to get it, I had to meet him locally. So I didn't want to meet him in his house because I knew the area was sketchy, as I grew up around that area. And then he told me a store, and it was actually a store my grandfather worked at before when it was a Rite Aid, and now it's like a Family Dollar or a Dollar Tree. I don't know, one of those dollar stores. So I get there, pull in, park, and I'm kind of waiting for the guy about I got there about 5 minutes early just so I could scope the place out because I knew it was sketchy. But I felt a little bit good about it because there were a lot of people actually out front. I was like, oh, if something happens, a lot of people around, so I'm not really worried about anything. So as I'm sitting there, everybody starts to kind of, well, a lot of kids are out and they're kind of like play fighting, and they're running around, and I didn't think it was anything serious, but then it got more hostile as time went on, and more kids came out of nowhere and then people were actually throwing fists in the middle of the street, and people are spitting on each other, they're calling each other names, and kids are getting out of the cars, they're like, get out of here, what are you guys doing? One kid comes out of nowhere with a 2x4 and smashes the other kid in the face.
Oh
with
my
the 2x4.
god! Whoa!
Knocks the kid out. He's bleeding out in the middle of the road.
Are we having Friday Night Raw here?
Whoa!
Yeah, it was intense. I was like, I'm out. Sorry, dude. I can't. I'm not staying here for this. Cops are showing up. They're left and right. It was insane. So that was fun. That was a fun experience. And then I left from there and went to the Salvation Army and found Captain America on the 360 for $3. That sells for like $40.
You still didn't give me my Mortal Kombat though, and I will not forgive you.
Yeah, we'll find another one someday. Maybe he'll get a car and we'll meet somewhere safer.
Wow.
Yeah. Also went to that large garage sale. Spent probably about $150 on a ton of stuff. I can't even list out everything off. Got like a PS3 for $40. I got 2 binders of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which honestly I think is the hidden gem of the bunch, for $30, because the 2 binders alone, with no cards in them, go for $60.
Are we talking like 3-inch binders, 1-inch binders?
They're 2x2 binders, so they only fit 4 cards per page. I don't know the size of them. It doesn't fit many cards, but they're like special Yu-Gi-Oh binders that have the anime character like Yugi and Kaiba on them. If you know them at all.
Yes.
So they're like it's like the main guy and the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm actually a Yu-Gi-Oh historian. Yeah.
Not surprised. And,
a lot of lying on the
so
show today.
So Brad, did you look up at the news like that night or the next day, like to see if any murders had happened?
So no, I didn't, because the thing is, that area is very bad, and it's just been so for some reason 15 to 20 years old. I'm just gonna say that range in general in that area are very rowdy. And I guess in the past like few weeks, there's been like 3 shootings in that age range. People like shooting each other. I just did honestly, I didn't even think about looking it up.
Yeah,
So
well, that's
I
terrible.
should've.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy though. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
dang.
I don't know why I had a gut feeling that something was gonna happen. Just like as soon as I saw the area that it was posted in, I'm like, it's sketchy, and I'm like, what what am I worried about? Realistically, it's not like I don't know. If I feel like it's a rough area or I'm in danger or something, you just drive away. I'm not gonna get on my car
Yeah,
until I'm like 100% certain, right?
yeah.
So that's why I decided to go, and then well, turned into a
Oh,
brawl.
yeah, well, interesting. Interesting.
It was crazy.
Risking our
Uh,
lives weekly for your
trying to get
entertainment.
risking my lives, $25 for a Genesis, totally worth it. And games I've played, so I'm gonna leave the one game I played because I've only played one
Oh, Brad.
for our games everyone should playlist. It's on there. We'll talk in depth about it. It's a doozy, and we're gonna jump now into my game. So Bravo and I got little game shows. I decided to go along with the pricing of things because I've been kind of trying to flip stuff, buying things at a deal, and Joe got the fever from me talking about it all the time. Uh, I want you guys to guess, and this is why I said I couldn't answer it. What do you think Man vs. Wild is worth on the
Oh,
Xbox 360? And this is including shipping. I did the average on eBay, and what we're doing is we're going to do best 2 out of 3. So whoever gets first 2 right wins. Well, closest is what I should say. So the closest you are to it, you win.
So
Simple
we're
as that.
doing like prices, right? I think that's the show rules where if Bravo bets $20 and I go 20-01, I win.
No.
you.
If
That's
so,
actually technically the truth. This is the price is. I mean, the price is correct.
yeah. So we're gonna do. I think just whoever gets closest to it.
Okay, fair enough.
Bravo, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first because I'm gonna nail it right on the dot. Now,
Right on the
before
money. So I will tell you, this is gonna make it a little bit easier. We're not doing it's just dollars.
dollar
So
bills.
let's just say if you're gonna guess $50, you don't guess like $50.50. Just $50
Okay.
or 51. Okay.
I do have a question if I can ask. What is the tax
Oh,
code in your state? Is it what is it like 7%,
So,
8%? It's important for
I'm
my
not doing
calculations.
taxes. I'm not doing taxes here. It's just shipping.
Taxes are added after.
It's added in after. Yeah. So
Well,
it's just shipping. The average shipping cost is usually about between $3 and $4.
don't. Oh, dang. Okay.
But
all right.
it doesn't realistically it doesn't matter. 'Cause
Okay.
some people have free shipping.
Well, let me just erase that from my calculations.
Okay. So do you want a little obviously I already gave you a little bit of a detail on this game. You already know how the game is.
No, dude, I'm good. I already know what it is.
All right. All right. So
What is it?
$23.
$23.
Beat that, Joe.
Okay.
Beat it. Just beat it.
My guess is
I
going
mean,
to be
let me
go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So Bravo.
ready? You ready to hear perfection?
I'm ready.
$17.
Oh no.
Are you feeling? Who's feeling good right now?
I'm feeling real good.
I feel real good.
All right. So the winner of this, you're off by $2. $2.
I knew it. I should have gone higher.
I knew I should have said 15.
And it was Joe.
Oh.
It was $15. Okay, so 1 point for Joe.
I value Bear way too much.
All right, next game. So we'll see. We'll even see if the third game. We could always play for fun the third game if we want. Sorry. So even if let's say if Joe gets this one correct, then it's over. But we can still play the third game for fun, or I could save for next time.
Gonna go 2 for 2 in game shows today.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is
Shoulda
going to be
gave Brad more
Super
points.
Monkey Ball for the GameCube.
Super
Monkey-
Monkey Ball for the GameCube.
Yes.
I'll go first. I'm gonna say $60.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So do you, since Joe decided to jump the gun, because originally I was gonna give you a little details about it so you can guess, maybe if I don't know if that would help or not, but
I'm sat in stone. You can
Sat in
give Bravo
stone.
all the
He's
details
satin.
you want.
He's satin stone, everybody.
so you
he
said
is-
$50.
60.
Oh,
Six.
$60.
Like
my bad.
retail for a standard video game.
Gotcha. Okay.
What's the name of the game again?
Super Monkey Ball. For the
Super
GameCube.
Monkey Ball.
Yes.
That's 5 synonyms.
Kind of. So
So I'm gonna go $43, Bob. Brad.
$43.
We value Super Monkey Ball here.
It's gonna be like $8.
Okay.
Brad, I do have a question. Are we talking like complete in box for these? Are we talking
Yeah,
sealed?
so I am doing complete in box. The only
Okay.
negative I will say is I am including both the greatest hits and also the regular copies
okay.
because it's very hard for me to filter out just one or the other.
Mhm.
So it may be skewed a little bit low or high depending on which one you're looking
Yeah,
at.
$44, $45.
So I just want to let you know that number one, Bravo is consistent. He's been $8 off with both of them. And Joe was $25 off from this one.
You gotta factor in the
It was
taxes.
$85.
The game is $35.
Oh man, you gotta factor in the taxes though. I'd be spot on.
Yes.
So we're going to round 3 regardless.
Oh man,
Round 3. This is the doozy.
round 3, gloves off.
Joe, this one might be on your radar right now, so you might have a slight advantage. Okay. Because he just picked up a Genesis. This game's on the Genesis. We were talking about Earthworm Jim. Complete in box. What does Earthworm Jim go for? Do you want a little descriptor about Earthworm Jim, guys?
Yes.
All right. Earthworm Jim. It's kind of like a comedy platformer. Play as a worm in a suit. Running around doing some goofy things, shooting refrigerators off of lines and then making cows go into the air.
Oh, I know what Earthworm Jim is. Pretty
Oh, yeah,
stoked
fun
about
stuff.
that game coming out on that
On-
new console. That's
that new
tomorrow. That's
console?
tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't spoil the intelligence. All right, so let's go with since
So is
Joe
this,
jumped the gun, let's do Bravo.
Is this like same scenario as the previous one where it's like complete package, never
Yep,
opened?
everything's going to be
They're
well, not-
open, but
they're opened, but just it has the box, the manual.
Oh, okay. They're open. Okay, yeah. That's
Yeah.
easy. I should
Not brand
factor
new.
that in. Still no taxes. Okay, so I gotta say, now was this sold today?
it's the average.
Oh, it's the
overall.
average.
Was this sold today? Yeah, so roughly
All right.
you're
all right,
looking about the past month's sales.
all right,
roughly.
all right. I'm gonna say $27.
Okay.
It's a solid bet. That's right on the money.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Double
say
points.
$50.
$50. Okay.
$50.
There's
So,
two kinds of
5 this
people.
time.
the winner was off by $14.
Right here, kids.
The winner is Joe. It goes for $64.
Oh my gosh!
Complete in box.
I remembered it being expensive. I didn't remember how expensive.
What?
So I will give. So I know that Joe looks up a little bit more on eBay than Bravo does. So I'm just gonna give you a little tip, Bravo. Anything that's older than like PlayStation 2 is gonna be significantly more expensive.
Especially if
complete
you
box.
remember it. And if you know what
Yeah.
it is, it's worth
Whoa.
more.
if it's complete in box, because a lot of people back in the day threw the boxes out. So it's
Guys, I have a military duffel bag full of old games that I've never sold.
You let me see them before they go anywhere.
Am I about to retire? Is that? That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is. I'm not even mad. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a fun little game we could play.
We're gonna change today's episode to Joe wins.
Yeah.
I should have gave Brad more points.
Yeah, it's your fault. I skewed it towards Joe. Anyways, so now that we finished up our fun little game shows, let's actually jump into the main topic for today, which is going to be 12 games that everyone should play. So we got together before the podcast, and we brainstormed 12 games.
Yeah, whiteboard involved. Yep. We had
Everything.
Different color markers. We had
sweating.
it all. Yeah, sweating. Yeah.
Brad punched me in the eye because I mentioned Breath of the Wild.
So go through all this rigorous back and forth. Game number 1, Brad, hit us with it.
So game number 1, I got to hit you boys with the greatest game of all time. I own 2 complete copies of this beast. Okay.
Looking to add more.
Yep. Looking to get a minimum of 20 by the end of the year. Okay. And I just completed it for the first time, going for a new speedrun world record. Going to be coming up. Just to let you guys know also. Working on that bad boy. It is Mort the Chicken for the PlayStation 1.
God, it's a classic.
It is classic. If you don't know what Mort the Chicken is, it is a very serious platformer. No comedy involved at all. You play as a chicken, and I'm
Nobody in the room can keep a straight face.
It's. I'm gonna be dead honest. This game is a lot better than what it should be, though.
I'm really worried that my mic is only picking up my wheezing.
So the thing is, the game is obvious. It's a joke, but I honestly think that this is a game I've never heard of it before until this week. And once I did, we all watched together a GDQ event of this game with all the cutscenes. It is amazing how funny it is. Like, they did a pretty amazing job just crafting something that has humor in it, along with I would say, for a kid's platformer, it it's decent because you really can't die. You can't fall off the edge of it.
Brad, I can't agree that it's a kid's game when the cubes are literally trying to perform chicken genocide.
That's true.
Yeah, but the children don't understand that.
The enemies are cubes, also very creative. They have like
cubes.
You can make that in Blender in approximately 0 seconds.
Yes, and we are gonna pitch together. We've been working on a little bit of brainstorming already about creating a spiritual successcer. I don't know if I should drop the name.
No, not yet. We're not ready.
We gotta get a trademark before I drop it. Okay, I don't wanna ruin it. Vision Gaming's first actual game is gonna be spiritual successor. That's a little teaser for you guys. Anyways, you boys got any anything to say about Mort the Chicken?
I 100% agree. Like it was surprisingly funny. Like we started down this journey as a meme, and it was actually surprisingly funny. Now being on this list, yeah, of course, it's a joke, but
yeah. It is about 3.5 hours. No, is it? No, it's like an hour and a half. I don't know what I'm talking about. It was probably 3.5 hours when I went and I got food and was away for a while.
For an adult, for a child, it's unlimited.
Probably if I'm being very generous, about 2 hours. Very generous.
Let's put it this way: the speedrun with all cutscenes watched was only like 27 minutes.
That's true.
Yeah, but those guys are cheaters. We all know how speedrunners go.
Some of those chicks are hard to find. They are just little yellow blots. So I will say there are a lot of collectibles, but you only have to collect these little chicks that have been stolen from your world. They don't tell us if it's actually if it's Earth or if you got like a Chicktopia that they're living on. But yeah, they stole all the chicks. And Mark has special powers like the chick magnet, which I think is clever. Springs. He can get large. I don't know what being large does. It actually does nothing. But you can be large. And then in the debugging, you can make your neck as long as you want.
The best part of the game is the cutscenes. There's
100%.
two chicken newscasters, and their puns and just like blatant jokes are hilarious. And then every couple levels, you just get to see like chickens doing yoga or like calisthenics, and it's just no context and no words. It just goes right back into the game, and you're just like, what just happened?
I like how we put Mort the Chicken in as a joke, and we're like rationalizing why it's on the list.
It belongs here.
It belongs.
Mort the Chicken is our mascot, so okay? It's the mascot of the podcast.
Yes.
I'm gonna get a Mort tattoo on my forehead.
All right, game number two.
Teardrop.
Game number two. As far as games everyone should play, Mario 64, a staple in the gaming community. It was great, like free roam game. Made you feel like you just go wherever, do whatever. Like just so many different mechanics to the game that everybody can just associate with. Like jumping through the paintings and all the cool little worlds that you could travel to is before its time, honestly.
So the only thing I was gonna say is you said open world, and it actually kind of was almost like a first open world of this time.
Yeah.
Like how they just drop you in right in the intro. I'm mainly thinking of, right? They drop you in. They don't really tell you anything, and it's just your way of figuring out the controls. And you're wandering around outside of the castle. You can kind of do anything. You can climb up the trees, jumping around. You could go all around. It's kind of cool. Obviously, it's not like Skyrim open world, but it is pretty open for N64 era that is.
Yeah.
It's amazing how far, even just from like the original Super Mario to Mario 64, how far gaming came, and like it being the first 3D Mario, it just was mind blowing. I mean, I was young when it came out, but I grew up playing the old games before I moved my way up, and getting my hands on Mario 64 and the amount of time I played that as a kid and still play it now. And I will always remember the little mission in the ice world. I'm not gonna act like I remember the name of the world or the painting, but you had to get the baby penguins for the big
Mhm.
mom. And that mission will be or that star, I should say, will be in my memory until I am a speck of dust.
Especially if you murder the penguin by throwing it off the cliff.
Yeah.
I throw myself off the cliff a lot. Those camera controls
Yeah.
are pretty tough nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like sliding on the butt when you're going down.
Oh,
You're sliding on your butt, and I don't even know. You go into like some weird
Yeah.
house.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the slide, and there's
Mhm.
like the hidden wall. Well, it's a wall that you could like go through, and there's
Yeah.
a shortcut.
Hmm. Yeah, that level's awesome. That's like
Yeah.
etched into my memory, along with the piano. That scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, it was good
Uh,
stuff.
This list of 12 games I want to point out is in no specific order. Like, it's not that we value. Well, I mean, we do value number one over the rest, but they were
Yes.
kind of just put together in no special order.
And honestly, it took specifically with Mario, we wanted to just pick one Mario game, and honestly, almost any Mario game could be kind of put on here because they're all amazing for everybody to just kind of pick up and play.
Yeah.
They're very easy to
Especially
pick up.
Yeah, especially the older ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, getting into game number 3, quite the heavy hitter coming up here. Minecraft. I know everybody that I know who's ever played a video game has some type of experience with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad's giving me a face like he's never touched it.
I played the crap out of Minecraft when I was in high school
Oh,
on
thank
the
God.
360.
I thought he was gonna say he never
but-
did.
No, so I actually played a lot of Minecraft on the 360 when I was in high school, but it was such a different game because I mean there was only one wood type, and I think there was only a cow and a chicken for animals out and about. That was
wow.
it. There was nothing extra. There was no end game really. It was actually just a survive and build a world. There was no like Endermen, no Ender Dragons. It was super simple, basic. At least from what I knew. And I think all of that stuff kind of came about once rumors started coming around. I think the Enderman was kind of a rumor, and then they actually added in Enderman. I could be remembering wrong, but for some reason that sticks into my mind. And I think that's kind of cool if that is actually true.
You know, I've only ever beaten the Ender Dragon one time, and it was I was basically drugged there by other people who, did it all the time. I never play Minecraft with the intent to like go fight the dragon. I just play to be creative and have a blast.
I agree. I think just being creative, and sometimes you want to just zone out, and the music's super relaxing. It's got a, I mean, realistically, it's kind of started its own little, I don't know, cult of graphics, because now a lot of people do the Minecraft graphics, right? And it used to be like, oh, look how terrible they are. Now it's kind of cool.
Well, it's like the perfect sandbox for creativity. You know, sky's the limits. Literally, there's a limit to the sky, but you know what I mean. Like you want to do a thing, you can do it in within these simple rules and limitations of the game, and you just go out and do it. My particular way of playing Minecraft is you got to create the first like survival hut in the side of a mountain, because it takes little time, and you just put up a single wall, a couple torches, and you're golden. And then you go build the main fortress, and you survive, and you get better scenarios, and the monsters start coming out, and then you get bored, and you realize you put 80 hours into the game again, and you
Come
move
back
on.
in 6 months. Minecraft is, I've played it for quite a while. I'm not gonna act like I remember when I started playing it, but I definitely played it when there was only one tree type and absolutely nothing to do. And I remember the first time I dropped in, and I was like running around. I was like, "What in the hell am I supposed to do?"
Where's the
And-
quest giver? I've missed something.
And it was to the point where like I didn't know how to get tools, and I never in 1,000 years would have thought of punching a tree until it broke. So I played the game for maybe 10 minutes, just running in circles, and I'm like, okay, there's actually nothing to do. Maybe it's broken. So never touched it. A few days later, I was like, all right, I need to figure it out. So looked it up and figured it out, and was like, oh my God, this is gonna be something. And so just watching it grow and to the point it's at, and it may be the most played or most popular game now. I'm not 100% sure, but it like
Sure,
fluctuates up and down constantly.
I'm sure it is. It's got to be, right?
From my little cubes of dirt with a bed in them to like functioning computers being created in the game, it's just mind-boggling to me.
Isn't it funny how the first time you play a game, you'll never have that same experience, but you can almost cherish it, because like in Minecraft, I remember the first night where I had no idea there was zombies in the game. Not a
Oh
clue.
man.
And I was trying, like, because you're just learning the actual layout and how the controls are. So I remember building kind of like what Bravo said, into the side of some mountain, and just holding out. I didn't have a torch, nothing, and I was petrified, shaking in my little boots from that little zombie.
We all had that night in Minecraft where you stand at the door of your house without a bed and you just look at the zombies on the outside running in circles.
Yes.
And they look back, and that's your whole night. Yeah, and it has to be said that Minecraft has come a long way since even the beginning. Like, it's crazy what you can do in that game now. All the additions that they've done and whatnot. But anyways, I'm sure everybody knows Minecraft is going to be on the list. There it is. We'll stop reminiscing. Joe, you need to cover the next one.
All right. 2 in a row for your boy.
2 in a row.
Uh,
We're not keeping
The
score, okay?
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It's my favorite game of all time. I just bought 2 copies of it for my GameCube, which puts me up to like 10 total copies purchased in my life.
Not enough.
Going for 20 by the end of the week.
I'll outpace
Overall-
you with more than chicken.
It's an action adventure game. Every part of it. The soundtrack's phenomenal. The graphics were, I mean, they're dated at this point, but for their time, it was like astounding. It was like looking at the new Ratchet and Clank back then. It came out in '98. Obviously, I was about 2 years old, so I don't remember the release or anything. But growing up playing it, my dad had his save file and went through and beat the game. And there's little of me running around and logging off in random spots, so he has like double the puzzles to solve by finding out where he is and why all of his items are gone. But it's just great. It's something that everybody should experience at least once.
So, Ocarina of Time, I am. I know. I think Joe might murder me because I've never completed Ocarina of Time, but it's because I mainly played it when I was a kid. I did have this growing up, and I got stuck in the water temple. So, I think it's kind of a common thing. The water
Yes.
temple is considered difficult. I know, so I don't feel too bad about it. It's just the problem for me is I have it on the 3DS. I've started it probably 4 times, and then I just get distracted afterwards. I really need to sit down and just play it. Maybe that's something I'll do somewhat soon. Like when I go out to the fiance's, bring it out with me for a weekend and just try to, when I got some downtime, kind of plow away at it. But Ocarina of Time, it's kind of similarly to Mario. I think it's cool once you get out of the tutorial, when you are running towards the first town or
You go out
village. I
into
don't
the field. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So you go onto that field and you're not supposed to make it. And it's kind of the same thing of you're not supposed to make it. And then with Minecraft, it's kind of funny where all of a sudden the skeletons start popping up and you have to like defend yourself and wait for the drawbridge to come back down.
Yeah.
Such a great moment, honestly. And once again, it's another thing you'll never experience that again, realistically, because every time you start the game again, just to roll as fast as you can and run over there so you can make the drawbridge. At least that's what I do. I don't know. Whenever I play.
Yeah,
Well,
I actually beat the game with my brothers when I was real young, and then I went back to play it when I was about 8 or 9, and I couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat the water temple. I was like, what? Younger me is smarter, more handsome. I don't understand. I struggled with it, but I eventually got through it, and it was yeah, it's a fond memory of going through it twice. I never got scared at night. I always looked forward to it. I was like, all right, I got my stick, I got my board. We're gonna go to town. We're just gonna fight some stuff. And then whenever you go, spoiler alert, when you go into future land and everything is all evil and decrepit, I was like, it's my time.
I don't know the exact name of the creatures, even though I should. But like in the town center, when you're adult Link and like they screech, they gave me nightmares so often as a child. And
The
I
game is
also,
definitely creepy.
I
Yeah.
also remember crying my eyes out over
The
the
freaking
Deku tree.
Deku tree. Oh, you know what was really frustrating was the doggone spider in the Deku tree.
Which one?
Man, there's this one
Big one?
room where like it's a camera angle issue, right? So you like the threshold between where the camera changes between like different points you stand in the room. I remember struggling so hard with getting that thing to flip around backwards so I could hit it and not change the camera angle. It's probably, young, dumb, handsome Bravo screwing up. If I go back and play it now, I'd probably be like, why didn't I just go to this other corner or something? I don't know.
So I got a question about this. So if we were to say what's the version that we pick for everybody to play, just because there are a few ways to play it. You've got the 64, GameCube, the 3DS,
3DS,
and
2DS technically.
yeah. So now also, was there a port on the Wii U for digital? I'm wondering.
I want to say there was. Let me look it up, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Obviously, the answer is to wait for Nintendo. I'm looking at you to remaster the thing and put it on the Switch.
Yeah.
So it looks like it was available on the Wii U, but it was like the N64. It was like the virtual console.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know if the Wii U is still up for being purchased, but if you were to recommend which version people to go out and play, Joe, 'cause you're the expert, what would
Nintendo
you say?
64. Every time.
Okay.
Every single time.
You heard it here, folks.
It's just how
I
the game was meant to be.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
agree. I think just the only negative about it on the N64 is you're probably paying a little bit of a heavier price. It's probably not too much, but I'm thinking 3DS. It's probably a little bit cheaper.
3DS I bought new from GameStop. I think it was about $30. I just bought it
Mm.
recently.
Mm.
I want to say the N64 Ocarina of Time, if you're not looking for any like collector's edition or anything like that, I think it fluctuates around 20 to 30 as well.
Oh, okay.
I
That's not as
never
bad as I thought, actually.
I never owned a 3DS.
Hmm.
Yep.
They're pretty cool.
It
I would recommend.
I somehow skimmed around that one.
Bravo, if I get my hands on some of these Zelda 3DSs, I'll just mail you my red one.
All right. I will accept that.
We'll keep him to his word, folks. All right, so let's jump into number 5 here. So we're gonna talk about The Last of Us, and so The Last of Us holds a pretty close spot in my heart because it falls into that little bit of horror genre, and I am a massive horror fan. So honestly, the first time I played this game, I did not like it. I actually couldn't beat it. It was something just a little off. I felt about the controls or so. I don't know what it was exactly, but I got stuck at some point relatively early on. I ended up putting the game down and I didn't go back to it for a while. And then probably about 3 years later, um, hopped back in, just coasted right through the rest of the game. Well, I restarted obviously, and the game is easily one of my top fives of all time now. The Especially the intro. If you haven't played the game ever, I won't spoil it, but the intro to the game has a part that will tug at anybody's heart, I feel. The combat too, honestly, I know isn't some people's cup of tea, but I feel like there's like a grittiness to it where when you actually kill somebody, you feel like they're fighting for the life and they're grasping for air. They're trying to do anything they can to survive. There's just something different that they added, that little extra touch where if you kill people in games they kind of fall over ragdoll style. This game they added that realism to it. It just you could notice that attention to detail, I feel.
They're just built different.
Yeah. Naughty Dog for you.
See, I feel this game deserves to be on the list from majority of the reason being its storytelling aspect. Like playing through the game is mostly Joel and the little bit of Ellie you get to play against. And from the beginning of the game and how, he's just taken her to help cure humanity, and seeing their relationship grow from, two strangers into basically a father-daughter relationship, like playing through the game. And I mean, the game's been out for long enough now, and at the end, him ending up saving her life, it
I didn't spoil the
changed.
first like 5 minutes of it. You spoiled the ending of it.
The game the game changed me, like, as a person. Like, I mean, I was
You-
in my teens playing this game, and I cried like a child at the end.
No, it is a phenomenon. I teared up in the beginning. The beginning one hit me real hard. I feel like the first scene.
Bravo,
You know
have
what I'm
you
talking.
played this at all?
No, I have not.
You got a PlayStation?
I was I was doing military things, I believe, when this guy came out, and yeah, I obviously didn't play The Last of Us 2 when it came out, because
I haven't finished the second one. I barely started it, but the first one has it came through Pittsburgh, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a hometown game.
2014. So I was right in the middle of all the military stuff. So good excuses. They do exist.
Well, you need to
Yeah.
get on it. 'Cause
Well,
it's-
I actually should. I should definitely do that. I've got
Bravo,
a
game it's like $10 brand new.
yeah. I'm gonna make that my priority. Okay, hold me to it, audience, fans, lovers, all of you. Hold me to it. Next podcast. Okay, not the next podcast because that's like tomorrow, but the next regularly scheduled podcast, I will have at least started this game because I've got a lull between games right now, so I gotta do it.
You will not be disappointed. It is very good. And honestly, I would say if you want to actually just like see the story and everything, you don't care too much about the combat, just put on easy and just kind of coast through and enjoy the story, like taking it almost like a movie.
Yeah.
It basically is. I mean,
Yeah.
even after The Last of Us, a lot of games went to like the narrative-driven style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't it just like 2 years ago where people were debating on whether or not like single player story driven games were dead and it's all multiplayer all the time and then like games come out like Horizon Zero Dawn, which all endings aside, great experience. uh uh I can't think of the other games. Anyways,
That
I mean,
argument's been
there's
happening for
it's
ages.
it's gonna happen.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
there's a ton of good. I mean, there's a ton of great single player stories. The Tomb Raider games are great. Uncharted.
Mhm.
They're obviously the last was 1 and 2. There's even so honestly, I feel like even Dead Space, which is kind of older, BioShock, those series. Yes, they're not as intense as those, but they do have great stories.
Yeah, so
Dead Space probably not as much.
that brings
Breath
up
of the Wild.
a question for you guys real quick. Do you guys think that the $70 value for games is now going to be the standard? Like, is that just it's just been hyped
It
up?
is. It's going to be, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they stuck at the $60 for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when they hopped from 50 to 60, and that seems like it was forever ago at this point.
Oh, I was very upset as a young little Brad. I remember I went over to my Walmart and I saw the Nintendos. I was like, what is this? It's $60? I'm paying $49.99 for them GameCube games. What is going on?
I remember my aunt taking me and Jayhawk to the store, and we're like about to buy some games, and she looked at us and she goes, "You guys sure you're gonna keep this as a hobby?" And we we both look at each other. We look back at her and we're like, "Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about that. We're gonna get our value."
Especially if you kept a lot of those games. My
Yeah.
lord.
Goodness.
If you kept anything from your childhood and it was a decent game, you got probably your value, if not more.
And
Yeah.
now you could sell it for more than what it was worth.
I can't sell
Yeah.
them. I can't sell.
No,
'em.
you couldn't pay me to sell my games.
Yeah,
I could sell mine.
I can maybe get rid of like one or two of them, but yeah, I can't sell them. I actually kind of little side mission. I kind of want to go get everything I need for Legend of Dragoon and finally finish that sucker, or at least get to disc 2. What happens?
You still have it?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Of course I have it.
There's nothing left to say except for that.
We don't sell games here, Brad. My worst game. I'm holding it in my hand.
40 Genesis games for
Oh
a
goodness.
single Xbox and Halo.
The Last Templar, I hated, and I'm still holding it. I will never sell my games.
You're a glutton for punishment, sir.
All right. I'm gonna real quick summarize the next one. Okay. Full stop. All the dots, all the crosses on the T's. Period. Rocket League is probably one of the most approachable games out there, similar to Mario 64 or like Mario Kart, stuff like that, because anybody can get in that game and understand like what's happening. Now, you're not going to be doing these cool flips or anything at the beginning, but I played Rocket League when it first came out and everybody struggled and we had a blast doing it. Just like progressively getting better as a community was one thing, but you get a group of friends. I highly recommend all your friends be the same skill level, or like do some mods or something in the like custom maps or whatever. You can have fun with this game regardless of who it is. It also has the benefit for me and many others out there probably of being like this quick game. Like you can get in, play a quick 5-minute game, and get out. Like a little break between work, or like maybe you're working outside in the 100-degree weather or whatever. You just come in, you play a quick game. You do a quick little training session or whatever. It's a good time.
My Rocket League experience, getting up to silver, it gets real intense. Real fast. Fun game. I mean, it's soccer with cars.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that makes it so approachable too, is it's very easy to understand because it's just like all the sports we already have, just with cars.
And it's
Put the ball in the net.
Yep. And if I can talk about the esports for just a moment, it just needs the like a proper push or the proper visibility to go the full mile. Like kind of some stuff behind the scenes of psionics or something, but man, just do it. But anyways, we can move on. It's a passion game of mine, so I could talk about it for a long time.
Popping up to number 7, we got the tried and true Tetris. As classic as it comes, make the lines all the way across and get a Tetris. Get the high score. As you get more blocks down, you end up building up the tower, and everybody knows what Tetris is. And it's so fun, and just like, I don't know how I ended up finding it, because it's not something I ever looked for, but I was watching like a world championship of Tetris, and the amount of like skill people have in this game compared to me getting to like level 3 is astounding.
Now, have you ever seen the people that do it where the blocks are invisible?
What?
Yeah.
How do you...
Yeah, I have no idea. Look it up on YouTube. It was on GDQ. So if you look up Tetris on GDQ, I don't know which version or anything, but I'm sure it'll come up. They have like some of the world record holders. And there's a mode where you can do it it's invisible. The blocks are, I think what it is if you don't know, on the left-hand side, that it'll show you what the next block is coming up.
Yeah.
And so that will, I think that's what they use, and they know roughly where it is, and they just are able to flip it around, and I'm talking, it's at light speed, faster than what you can even imagine. How fast they're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
I cannot imagine trying to play Tetris without being able to see the blocks constantly. I could barely play Tetris seeing the blocks.
Yeah,
you could give me my next 10 and I couldn't plan it out right.
I just recently
physically. I need to physically move the blocks
I,
with my
I
hands.
I just recently went back and watched one of the more like I guess exciting Tetris World Championships, like the final match between this
It's insane.
yeah this guy like he's like a 4-time champion. This kid comes in and they have these names for the way they play, but it's like the classic mode, and then this kid like kind of like monkey
Claw.
grips, yeah, claw or whatever. He like monkey grips the thing so he can like strum the buttons and
Yeah.
get more clicks per like input or so. It's so cool to look at, but
I think that's a fighting game thing. So there's a claw grip, and they hold the controller in a weird way so they can use.
Yeah.
It's just so they can hit the buttons a little bit faster.
yeah,
I no
My
idea how.
my dad plays games with a claw grip, so it's like both fingers on the joystick, like ring or thumb and index finger on the joystick, middle finger on like the bumper buttons, and ring finger on like the rear triggers. So, and then
carpet
just
bomb.
whoa,
basically, and he'll use his index finger, like the first knuckle of it, to hit the buttons. So like your
Ew.
A X Y B X square triangle circle.
Did he try to teach you
Playing-
how to play that way?
No, that's just how he's always played. I don't know where it's come from. He also still uses the inverted joy, like y-axis, so nobody listens to him.
Okay, Papa Joe, you calm down, sir. You
I-
freaking
I was
alien.
gonna say he's got the hand like this the butler from Scary Movie 2.
Oh God, my germs.
Oh
Oh boy.
grab a strong hand. Oh Lord.
Take us into number 8 here, Brad.
All right. So number 8, we've got one of my childhood memories here. And I decided to go with Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. And I sold this on the boys because I feel like this is an RPG light. So this is a way, one, it's very child friendly. Obviously, Pokemon is still humongous to this day.
Huge
And
mungus.
plus, they have, realistically, they're pretty creative monsters, and it's fun to collect them, right? There's like countless different teams that you can come up with. You could decide to go with an all fighting team one time, right? If you wanted to do like a challenge run or something. But obviously going through normal, picking different starters. I mean, at minimum, you've got 3 different playthroughs if you just want to play with each starter. And the games aren't short. So I decided to go with Fire Red and Leaf Green though, because you're talking about the first original Pokemon, talking the original 150, plus it's updated graphics on the Game Boy Advance. And they also added an additional, like, I think there's islands actually after you beat the Elite Four, which I don't know too much about it. I haven't actually beaten Fire Red and Leaf Green. I've played a ton of the original Red and Blue. But I started going through Fire Red and Leaf Green about last Christmas, right around there. And I got to, I think, the 6th or 7th badge. And then just got busy and stopped playing for a little bit. But I would like to get back to it. I absolutely love Pokemon though. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, if you haven't played Pokemon, go for it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Red is the only Pokemon game I have ever completed.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only Pokemon game I've ever completed was Sword. I beat it in a single night, just straight through.
What?
Yep.
That's
You're a sociopath.
that's nasty.
I pulled. It was an all-nighter. I just sat straight through, start to finish, in
Wow.
a single sitting.
I can't. I did not like Sword and or Shield. I thought that well, old man Pokemon player here, but like the last couple generations have just not done it for me. And the dogs having a sword and a shield, like the sword's in his mouth. He's a dog with a sword in his mouth.
It's like Sif.
It's like not even a Pokemon, like I don't know.
So I get where you're coming from. Like my favorite Pokemon's obviously all Gen 1, but some of them are just like so cute or creative. Like my favorite from Sword is like it's one of the worst, but the little ice cream cone.
Oh goodness.
I think that's one of the things is that they do come up with cute designs, but they definitely have run out of ideas as they've gotten further into the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
When
sure.
I mean, they've got literally like just like a pile of garbage is one of them.
Like what?
Eh,
We're gonna get off into a Bravo rant here, but why can't they just add evolutions to the already like immaculate like library of like give another permanent evolution to Charizard. Give
Don't you dare touch Charizard.
multiple like I
they
love the
kind
way
of have
yeah, I love the way that
kinda
they
have
had
that
like
stuff.
regional Pokemon, you know? Like they changed a little bit depending on where you found them. That was so cool. Well, you could just
Oh
keep
yeah,
doing that, you
the
know?
Alolan stuff was amazing. I will say that, but they kind of did that with because they got the X evolution, Y evolution, and the Mega evolutions of the Pokemon now,
But
right?
those aren't permanent and they're weird
No,
and I don't
but
understand them and I'm scared.
that me too. I shake a little bit. I need you to hold me. So. But I am a little bit biased being a child from the 90s and growing up prime age being about 8, 9 years old in Pokemon Red and Blue. But I just wish they would remake. Why did they just demolish my boy Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee? Why didn't they just make it a regular game? I started like 8 sentences right there. I had a mini stroke. I'm sorry.
For those of
It's
you not able to see the face cam of this gentleman, things just got heated. It
oh,
was hilarious to watch.
I'm just I'm so upset because they remade it once on the Game Boy Advance, Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is the one we recommend. And then we're like, we're all excited. They're gonna remake Yellow on the Switch, but you're playing it Pokemon Go style.
Oh,
Killed me. F in the chat, boys.
F
It was
in
not good.
chat.
No. But here we are. Now I gotta wait another 20 years for them to even think about remaking Gen 1.
Mm.
Back on topic though, I definitely think Pokemon is something that anybody could play. Because growing up, I actually just found my Game Boy Advance SP, and me and my great grandmother both had one, and we used to sit and play the Pokemon games together. And she was 80 some years old when she passed away, and it's been almost 20 years since then, and Pokemon's still up and kicking. And if she was able to get her hands on it, being alive, God, from like 1902 or whatever, there's no reason anybody can't just pick it up and get into it.
You were like, dear God, 1902. Oh man. Yeah. Pokemon's definitely a banger. Now, Bravo. How about we transition to number 9? I almost said number 3.
Number 3, back at number
9.
3. Okay,
Yeah, back
Minecraft
at
it
number
is.
3.
Number 9 is Smash Bros. Great for group play. I absolutely love playing in person Smash. Just like get 6 or 8 friends and you just fight. It's so freaking fun. Uh, uh, and honestly, the new Smash Bros. With the campaign they had with like all the different little items and stuff, it was okay. I wish they would have a way to adjust difficulty or maybe complexity based on age, because it seemed like certain fights you'd go to and they would you'd be like, oh, I just need this item, and I come back and I just win for free. That's kind of not cool, but yeah, Smash itself is a fun game, and you can't beat it as far as like fighting games go. It's pretty good. Pretty.
Your favorite one, Bravo?
My favorite Smash?
Yep.
Probably Ultimate.
Brad?
It's definitely Smash Ultimate.
Okay. It's Smash Ultimate we're talking about.
Smash Ultimate is by far the best Smash Bros.
Yeah,
I'm biased towards Melee.
you had me worried. I was like,
I'm not surprised. You seem like you'd be one of those families.
he's one of the Melee guys.
Who's your who? All right, who's the main? Who's mains? here?
Oh, that is such a good question, Brad.
Okay,
Yes.
the main that I played in like some little tournaments I played in, or the main that I just like would pick up on a Friday
Both.
night with some friends.
Both.
Okay,
Yeah, whatever.
If I'm
Who's
playing,
your serious character, and then somebody you like to play with, like your friends, just whatever.
okay, my serious character is Fox.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have a Fox in your repertoire if you're gonna play it
It's
competitive.
because you play melee.
And then I'd play Link if I'm just playing with the homies.
That makes sense. That checks out. Mine for professional play,
Bravo.
if I'm going into a competition with other human beings for money and or pink slips, it's gonna be DK every time. Donkey Kong.
Oh,
Okay? And then if I'm playing with friends, Donkey Kong. There's literally no other character you play other than Donkey Kong. Or
yes.
King K. Rool. Okay, that's the only two.
Bravo is a man of my heart. He likes the heavies.
I'm a
Likes the
heavy. I'm a heavy.
He's
Yeah.
a heavy boy. Yeah. So for myself, I like to pride myself in testing the waters for a little bit of everybody. But if I'm being serious, I'm playing Yonkadong. Good old Donkey Kong also.
DK.
And then if I'm having fun, honestly, this is gonna sound funny. I like to troll with Isabel because she is one of the most obnoxious characters ever at times.
Yeah.
When you just planting mines and you're fishing and you got the turnips going.
I also want to point out that if I'm playing like ultimate competitive, I'm playing Zero Suit Samus.
Oh man, I need to go back and play Smash now that the Minecraft guy the Steve is in the game. I actually haven't done
Yeah.
that. I gotta
That was
rally
the
the
ol-
troops.
That was the only reason why I had a Switch for as long as I did, was because I'd have buddies come over. We'd literally play Smash Bros. All night long. And then just kind of stopped. And then it became Pip-Boy for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And also I can't handle seeing another Fire Emblem character become a DLC.
That is such
I
a meme
can't
now.
do it.
That
No
is
more
such a
sword
meme.
characters. Give me somebody new and refreshing. I don't care who it is. I was happy when I saw Steve in there. Minecraft Steve. I'm like, perfect.
Mhm.
Somebody different.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll
On
give
to
a little
number 10.
small shout out to Smash 64 though.
Big shout out
Well,
to Smash 64.
This is a little
Number 10, we got the original Doom. So not the reboot, not Doom 2, Doom, the original. I mean, it's pretty much, it wasn't Wolfenstein 3D, so it wasn't the first 3D first person shooter, but it was the third or 3D first person shooter. It brought in like the beginning of mods, able to mod levels, designs, and all that fun stuff. Each room looked different. It wasn't just gray blocks that you were not able to go through. The characters were phenomenal, and the gunplay was revolutionary at the time, and it sounded great. And now we look at it, and you're like, it literally looks like a third grader drew this. But it was just so good, and it's definitely worth a play for anybody who's into any type of shooter games.
I still like the aesthetics of it, personally. I think it looks great even still today. Obviously it is very dated, but there's something to be said about a first person shooter that doesn't have aiming in it, like where, on the y-axis. That still feels good. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about. The shotgun is probably one of the best weapons ever. I think the shotgun feels so amazing, along with the chainsaw.
Brad, there's a reason for that, and I learned it after playing Resident Evil 5 with you and seeing you with a hot 18% accuracy.
Well, we gotta boost it up to at least 28, boy.
What was your Resident Evil Revelations? That one mission? Wasn't it like 2%?
I have no idea. We can find out. It's saved on the YouTube. I have no idea though, and I'm not gonna go
So
back and find
low.
out. Oh, it was a mission where there were some kraken monsters coming out of the water, and you had to shoot them while in a helicopter. And I looked like a man that was on coke trying to shoot trying to shoot somehow this machine gun. It was
It was a machine gun.
yeah, it was like some machine gun with the rockets also or grenades.
Oh no!
It was legitimately like 2%.
It was
I laughed for like 10 minutes straight watching it.
Sometimes it's impressive, okay?
If that ocean had a health bar, it would have been dead so many times.
I'm surprised I didn't overheat the machine gun.
I'm surprised you didn't overheat your computer missing that much.
Many fish were harmed in the making of this game.
Yes.
It's no
Oh my.
surprise to me that you like a melee weapon and a shotgun.
The shotgun's my favorite. Shotgun's my favorite weapon of all time in any shooting game. Give me the old shotgun.
Because it's impossible to miss.
Exactly.
All right, gentlemen. All right. Speaking of all kinds of different mayhem and guns and weapons and stuff, that brings us to number 11, GTA 5. Okay, it is something that anybody and everybody needs to experience. Is just the online play. Uh, it is an open world of chaos and happiness mixed with sprinkles of misery. Okay.
That game came out for like the N64 and it's still getting released. It's Skyrim 2.0.
basically, but yeah, you just get in there and you just have a blast. It's kind of like Mario, or Mario, Minecraft. You just get in there. It's an open world of chaos and craziness, and you just steal a car and go have fun with it.
That was always the most fun, at least for the older games too, was just doing anything. Once you do unlock all the weapons with the cheat codes,
Mm-hmm.
go out, take a rocket launcher, shoot the first car you saw, see how many stars you can get, how long you can survive, whatever. Tank comes, murders your family, and about the end of it.
I remember all of the Grand Theft Auto Vice City cheats still, and I haven't played that game, and it has to be 15 years.
I could
That's impressive.
probably bust out a couple of them. I'm not gonna know what they are until I do them, but I could bust out a couple of them.
I feel like I have a problem now because I don't. There's not all I remember is there's definitely shoulder buttons involved.
R2, R1, L2, R1, left down, right up, left down, down, left is the important one. All of the directions was the D-pad.
Anyways,
I played Xbox though, so it was right, black, left, black.
my lord, your nerdy showing. So let's talk a little bit about GTA 5. We not gotta talk about the modern one that we're giving the shout out to because we have to give it to it because obviously it's like I don't know how this game is still selling and it's still like number one in the charts. It's amazing.
It's out there.
Astronomical.
It is.
But
So the mini games that you can play, like some of the player created ones, but like tag, I don't remember what it's called, but you play tag with like a bicycle and a semi truck, and the bicycles get a little bit of a head start, and the semi truck catches up and plows over the guys. Or you play darts basically with cars and these giant ramps. Like those kind of games are some of the most fun I have ever had playing video games. Just me and the boys, me and the squad, just being ridiculous with those, and it laughing so much you cry, and your voice gets hoarse. Those are some good times, and that's why it made it to the list.
My favorite community game was essentially Kill the Man. Someone would be in either a semi truck or we'll just use the fire truck for example, and then there's like two teams, and one team's goal is to protect the fire truck, and the other team's goal is to destroy the fire truck. And you're in like a Prius trying to take on a fire truck. And so if the fire truck gets to its destination, the defending team wins. And if it either stops or gets destroyed, the attacking team wins. So if you come to like a complete stop or go like less than a certain speed for so many seconds, the fire truck team loses. And the amount of hours and trees I've watched people just ram into out of nowhere. We had this one friend who we'd play this with all the time, and he was notorious for just taking out, like, just ramming into a tree. So we're like going through the middle of town, and he's driving the fire truck, and they have these little like twig trees, like as decoration on the sidewalk. And he has like this clear shot where like 10 feet from the end, and he just rams this little tree and loses. Like there's not an enemy in sight that could possibly hit him,
Oh,
and
poor
he just
guy.
rocks his tree. And so we rag on him for hours, and then like the next time he gets a truck, the first tree he sees, he ends up hitting and losing it immediately. And to this day, we don't let him live it down.
So he clearly doesn't drive any time in a game.
Well, he doesn't do really good at driving in real life either.
Oh man.
Any other thought? What about single player? How do we like the single player of Grand Theft Auto, or is this mainly just like a sandbox mess around?
You know, it's
multiplayer game?
it's not a bad story, but it's not why I picked it.
Yeah.
It's a decent story. It has interesting characters. I could be wrong on names, but I'm pretty sure Trevor is like the trailer park guy. That's just
Yeah, he's the crazy dude.
yeah, all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
I thought like they had some really interesting characters and how they mixed. What was it, Michael and Franklin are the other two?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, how they intertwined in their friendship or partnership ended up together. I thought it was all really good, and the heists in the game I felt were better than Grand Theft Auto 4's attempt at the heist, and it all ran really smooth. I thought it was overall a good story.
I agree. I think it was a solid single player Grand Theft Auto game. I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen with Grand Theft Auto 6
Nothing.
because
We'll be dead.
yeah, they're probably not even gonna make it because why? One of the things I was thinking is there a chance that they just make Grand Theft Auto Online the only thing they do? Because it's so popular. I mean, that is what's driving the sales for Grand Theft Auto 5 still.
For sure. And I really hope they don't, because I thoroughly enjoy the air quotes campaign of those games. And I mean, I obviously haven't beat all of them. I never played much of San Andreas, and the 1 and 2 I've never touched. But they all like progressively gotten better, and I would love to see where they go with it.
All right, you ready for this? Prediction time. GTA 6 will be every map of the previous games revamped and in one single map. It'll be the whole state of this area. Bunch of
Did they
islands.
not already announce this,
Listen,
or it
It's-
was leaked?
listen. No, it's a. You're hearing it here
Don't
for the
ruin it.
first time. For me,
I'm not.
I'm predicting it right here, right now.
I'm not. You're looking at a screen. It looks like you're reading off something.
No, I can't read. All right, so number 12, a little special, okay? We want to turn to the audience. We want to turn to you, listener, who's made it all the way through this episode with us. We want to know what your pick is for the list of games everyone should play. You can add us on Twitter at envision_org. You can email us. You can shout from the rooftops. The email is envisiongamingpodcast@gmail. You can go to our YouTube channel, look for Envision Gaming, go to the icon that looks like our logo. Boom, drop some comments, yell at some folk, start an argument. We're excited.
Yes.
Somebody hit somebody.
Somebody hit somebody.
Yes. We thought this was going to be a shorter episode, and clearly it's turned into. It's probably longer than every other one.
we had a lot to talk about, and honestly, is the most fun I've had so far.
Yes, it was
And we're gonna come back tomorrow or the next day and record a whole doggone episode about E3. We won't have any goofball moments. We're gonna be super serious for about 3 hours. No, I'm kidding.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No.
But yeah, we won't have our special segments that we're trying out. We won't have anything like that. No advertisements. It's just gonna be E3. Just gonna talk.
Yes.
Start to finish.
Start to finish.
A lot to look forward to so far with E3. I'm excited for it.
So much. But that's the show, right, boys?
That's
Yes.
it.
All right. Well,
Did it.
we'll cut it here. I'll cut our voices way before this gets awkward.